Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. It's time to shine a spotlight on a Trinidad-Born actor who is riding the wave of success in a brand new show.
Will once again be the global dominant power. With me. Da, 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 da. Amelia, why don't you join us?
Amelia launched a new Kadisi.
No, what? Shh. Do me a favor. Just kindly move over to the wall right there. Don't do that. Don't try anything stupid, okay?
Just a little taste of our president down there. The brand new successful action thriller and features Trinidadian-born actor Mr. G. Anthony Joseph, who joins us via Zoom this morning. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. It's such an honor to be on this show. And before you start, I want to know, where is producer Barbara Ann Lucloy? She organized all of this and take off to St. Lucia and leave me here by myself.
Well, I guess that answers the question as to where she is.
She said, I dare you to do that. And I said, so there you go.
Well, that's a great way to start, sir. Let me first of all say congratulations to you on all of the achievements so far. I mean, we've been looking at your resume and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So let me start off by saying congratulations to you. How do you feel at this point in your career?
Well, one of the words I don't like is feel. How do I think about this point in my career is I have always been grateful from when I first came to Hollywood, which was in 1987. And I was just on another interview yesterday with the director of President Down, Nick Lyon. And I said that the appreciation of walking onto a set to this day has never, ever changed. Just to step foot on a Hollywood set, I am still pinching myself.
Nice, man. I want to know as well how that journey has been for you, though, because I mean, as an actor leaving Trinidad and Tobago in 1987, first of all, what would have inspired you to say, I want to take this leap, I want to make this step and put in that work?
That is a very, very great question, Lucas. When I was already running a successful martial arts school in Trinidad for about 7 or 8 years, and one day I just got up and I said to my wife, I want to do something else too. I want to do something else creative. And I just happened to see a Chuck Norris movie on the TV. And I say, you know what? I think I could do that, And next thing you know, a good friend of mine, Brian Green, who was a great opera singer, who moved to Australia eventually, he and I were outside of Beryl McBurney's on the pavement outside of class one day because of Sonia Mose and everything I had gotten involved in drama then. And he said he's taking off to Australia. And I said, you know what? I'm going to Hollywood. And it happened just like that.
How many landed in Hollywood? I need to hear how, because you pick up yourself after watching Chuck Norris.
Yes, sir. Well, let me tell you something. It's because of my wife that I am still here. Because you leave Trinidad, you're already doing something that took you years to build. You think $1,000 US is a lot in 1987 when you're coming to LA. And you soon realize you cannot even get into an apartment with $1,000. And that began a long struggle. There were many times I came home and we didn't even have any furniture then in a little apartment we got. And I told my wife, I want to go back home. And she says, no, we're sticking this out because of her. Another good Trini woman.
It's a good thing you decided to go together and not alone because you had to come back home already.
I would have been back on that plane so fast. Oh, Lord, have mercy on me.
How long did it take before you started to see any level of what you would consider to be success?
Listen to me. Where you get these great questions from? No one has asked me these like this for the longest while. I'll tell you why that's so important. Because when I first got into a drama school, the acting coach said, give it 3 to 5 years consistent.
Okay.
That's all he said. Ivan Markota. Just give it. He used to tell everybody that. 3 to 5 years. And in about year 87, 88, 89, 90, was when things started to kind of take off. And then I went back home and I did Men of Grey with Horace James and TTT and Bernard Pantin and all those people. Came back, went back and did Men of Grey 2, Flight of the Ibis in 95, 96. But before I had left, I was already breaking into shows that were current. And then I had that little lull doing the 2 movies. And when I went back to Hollywood in 1997, it took exactly about 3 or 4 years before I landed JAG with David James Elliott and Catherine Bell, and then The District with Craig T. Nelson, and then American Family with Esai Morales, who is still doing great. I mean, if you saw him in Mission Impossible, wow, you know? So it is always that 3 to 5 year mark.
And when you started to achieve this level of success now where you're inside, right? Do you feel like it was one after the other, they just kept coming, like from the time you get into the inner circle? Is that how it works?
No. Well, I should say yes. I don't like to use the term yes or no, because my wife will say, no, you can't say yes or no. It has to be very consistent. So yes, if you stay in consistently. But what happened was, I am one of those who didn't want to sit around and wait for the phone to ring as an actor, thespian. Right. So I would go off and try to produce another show or produce another movie. And then the drama thespian part of it would kind of lag. Then I would come back. But this time, around right before COVID, I got up one day and I turned to my wife and I said, I'm not enjoying producing anymore. I want to go back in front of the camera. And here we are in that 3 to 5 year mark later. Yeah. And it's right, and I'm staying here. So now that I'm in, it's now you can say exactly what you just said. It's like one toppling over the other, over the other, over the other. But it's all at the end of the day, I believe once you get in, you gotta have some kind of talent to stay in.
Well, as it should be, right? Now, I've seen some very interesting reviews about your performance in President Down. Tell me what it took for you to get into that character and that level of villainy.
Woo. No. I have to bring you to Hollywood so you could interview all those actors. This is quite exciting. So usually, for instance, there's a new series out now on Fox Tubi also called Pledge. And I'm actually playing a vampire in it. So when I have things like that, I'm playing a dean and I'm a vampire that runs one of these HBU colleges. And when I have roles like that, I have to go live it. So I was walking around cemeteries. There was a coffin on set a couple of times. You go and you lie down and then take a break. That is because the camera knows when you're lying.
Yeah.
The camera knows when you're lying, right? So that's the kind of research I do. If I'm playing a cop or a detective, I have friends in close to where I am that I go hang out, and I ask to come hang out with the detectives, go around with them, so that when I step on a set, I'm stepping on as that person.
Yeah.
My characters actually forget they're in a movie. That's how deep I go. For President Down, I'm playing someone who's going to take over the plane of you know who. Yeah, no, but who you going to have? Who are you going to hang out for that?
But that's the question.
That's the question. So I had to do a lot of mental writing, notes, videos. I don't look at other actors ever. I don't look at if they had a similar, I don't ever go look on TV. It's one of the things I don't do because I think it takes away from who you are as an individual and why they hired you in the first place. So so I did a lot of that, a lot of research on, well, what would these people do? And started to think, okay, the time is coming up where I got to go take over this plane. And what would he be doing day to day to day before he gets to set to go do that particular thing? I'll tell you this, though. Coming to the end, the interviews that I was looking at was Charles Manson. And that made the choice. If you see President Down, when I come on and I pull the gun and I tell everybody move over there, it's like when you look at Charles, it's like he's having breakfast talking about the things that he didn't do. Right? And so that I said, you know what, if I am this person, it's just like having eggs in the morning. I go, "Yeah, Amelia, come on in, move over there by the corner for me, please." No, don't do that. Don't do that. So it's very, very conversational.
Very matter of fact, because it's just what
Matter
you're
of
doing.
fact.
Yeah.
Yes, matter of rather than, "Oh, Amelia, come on in, move
Yeah.
over there."
So I know oftentimes directors say, when you're doing the job that you came to do, you have to be in the moment. It's not about acting or pretending to be. And what you're describing to me is how you get to that point where you actually can be in the moment without having to worry about anything else or worrying about what the character might do, because you have now become this character completely, yeah?
Absolutely. And because of the research, there are little things in there that folks won't realize, but little things like, and I usually wouldn't tell the other actors sometimes, unless it's a physical thing, right? But there's a scene where he's being threatened, and I say, "Hey, is that a jet that I hear outside?" And he says, "No." And then I kneel down to him and I said, "What about the doomsday plane that follows Air Force?" See, that wasn't in the script. But from the research, I found out that there's actually a doomsday plane that follows Air Force One. So if there's ever a situation like this, they come in and take over. And when he couldn't answer me, I turned to everybody and said, "You see, all you think I'm stupid, but I already took care of that."
So here's my question. That all you think are stupid. You said that in Trinidad accent?
I did. As a matter of fact, there's a new movie coming out after this called On Paper, where I play a screenwriter who I can't tell you what he does to become a success again. And the director and I we decided that he would speak proper throughout the movie. But the moment everything goes crazy, he starts to speak Trini.
Nice.
So I started to find ways to where I could use it. So people go, "Wait a minute, where's he from?"
Yeah. How important is that for you, the representation of being Trinbagonian?
I have never, listen, to me, it's about just do the work, and things like this, the relationship that we are having now, will come, rather than saying, "Okay, I'm going out to Hollywood to represent Trinidad." And, it was just about focusing on the work. And if you focus on the work and you create value, things like this will come to you. And the representation will become as a result of that, not something you're seeking,
I feel like that's the perfect way to end this interview, Any advice that you want to give in addition to that, to any young and upcoming actors who might be looking at this and saying, I want to do what you've done. I want to get out there and have that experience as well. What advice would you give them?
And remind me to thank a couple of people right after I say that. You have to find this. If you cannot find the answer to this, don't bother going after anything in Hollywood. What makes you so special that the world can't do without you? And what can you give the world? They didn't realize they needed it until you gave it to them. That's what makes you become, okay, well, who am I? And finding that uniqueness in what you're presenting to the world and to Hollywood. And on that note, let me thank director Nick Lyon, David Latt, Jesse Cove, great action star, Gail O'Grady, Gino Vittori, David Chocochi, Lorenzo Lamas, Paul Logan, William Butler, and Greg Light. I wanted to thank, because without those people on this movie, it's just, this movie's just picking up legs and continue, and everyone at Fox Tubi, for sure.
And I want to thank you for joining us this morning and for bringing the great advice, the great tips, and of course your life lessons that you've learned so far. We look forward to seeing more of your great work, and I wish you all the best and all the success.
I am so honored. Thank you so much to everyone at TTT. Thank you.
Take care. Enjoy your day.
Take care. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's G. Anthony Joseph, actor in President-Down, representing Trinidad and Tobago. Whether he chooses to or not, he can't help it, because he is Trinidad-Born, and we love that for him. And I love that for us, that we got the opportunity to share that with you this morning. So we take a quick break, and we come back with more right here on the Now Morning Show. Stick around.